Hi, this is Dr. Tanya Kormeili, board certified dermatologist. Of course, threads are getting really hot in rejuvenative medicine, and everybody wants to know what they are they safe, what do they do, the good stuff. Okay, so here we go. Two types of threads, really. One, the ones that lift, and then the ones that are used to add volume and rejuvenate the tissue, where they don't do any kind of lifting. Let's talk about the lifting type first. Those are the ones that when you look at it, they look a little scary, right? You're like, oh my God, they should hurt so much. Believe it or not, they don't hurt as much as it hurts you to see it. And I say that because actually when I watch someone putting it in, I go, oh, that looks like it should hurt. But it's really like, I've had threads in me. It's not painful, and patients tolerate it quite well, especially because we have such a great way of being able to numb them from the inside and from the outside before placing them in. So what are threads? The lifting threads are basically a suture, right? Like the same sutures that we are using in surgery. It's like made out of a sugar. And what they do is they make it so that it does not need to be opened up before you get it to go inside. What do I mean by that? If you actually want to have a facelift, right, they have to open your tissue, suture everything back up. But these come with like a little opening that they make through your skin. They go underneath it. We don't have to cut the skin, nothing like that. They go in. We put them where we want them to be, and then they kind of get stuck in that tissue, and then we pull them up. Over time, because they're made out of sugar, they dissolve, which is why the results are not forever. However, because they're made out of this particular sugar called PDA, they help build your own collagen. So over time, they're actually helping you rejuvenate by building your own collagen, not just the immediate lifting that they do. It's important to pick out the vectors, right? The direction you want to pull. You don't want to pull people in weird ways, because even if they look lifted, they look weird, right? We never want to make someone look like pulled. You want to look naturally lifted and not pulled. And that's why it's really important not to overdo it with threads. Some people are just not candidates for threads, because if you want to pick up something heavy, you need a bigger rope. And if you have really thin skin, that little rope is going to show under your skin. So when you're laughing and smiling, people are going to see that little rope under your skin. So you may not be a candidate. You also may have so much laxity, things might fall in so much that you really are not a good candidate, because you really should be undergoing a facelift or a neck lift surgery, and you're not a candidate for threads. But the people who are, this lifting threads is a great way to be able to resuspend and to redirect some of this fallen lax tissue, to be able to push it back without having to do surgery, by basically putting these sugar little sutures underneath it and being able to kind of hook it and pull it back underneath the skin without having to cut you in any way. Those are one type of threads. The second type of threads are essentially kind of like fillers, but they don't come in liquid. So right, when we think of fillers, we think of a syringe, a needle, and some kind of a fluid is pushed through the needle and goes inside your skin. But with the threads, the needle is impregnated, right? There's a little thread. So the filler is actually in a form of a solid instead of a liquid. It's wrapped around the needle instead of going through the needle. So when you put the needle in the skin, the little sugar, right, that is in the form of a solid gets stuck under your skin, and it starts stimulating the building of the collagen. This is really good for certain areas where you don't want to put a filler. There are certain areas where injecting a liquid filler has been associated with bad complications, such as permanent blindness or a stroke. So in certain areas like temples, where it can be really close to the brain, or around the eyes and the nose, you may not want to take a risk by putting in a fluid through a syringe because of the deeper tissues that it can create complications in. Therefore, putting a needle with a solid stays exactly where you put it, and it's not like a liquid where it can just float off or be pushed into a different tissue. By using these two types of threads in combination with fillers and lasers and other technologies we have available, we can create a very natural lifting effect if you're a candidate. And again, it's in the art of being able to pull the different things together. And the nice thing about being a dermatologist is we get to see you a lot, right? We have this treatment plan together, and we can lift and modify things so that they're perfect for you and maintain you throughout the decades of life.